And if you're the Eagles, this is where you kind of have to lean on some of that veteran experience. This is Kirk Talley's 15th season. You've got a senior at quarterback. You've been here. You've done that. You got to find a way to get back. Look at some first half stats. Leading rusher for the Eagles, Zach Cash, 14 yards, but that's on 10 carries, just 1.4 yards an attempt. As we have the kickoff fielded at around the 9-yard line, bringing it up the field. And brought out of bounds at around the 30-yard line is number 37, Ivan Ortega-Jones. For the Lions, leading rusher J.P. Lowry, 10 carries for 47 yards. C.J. Collins also has 2 carries for 15 yards. Those are some big carries to help set up a field goal. The only other points besides their touchdown return off a fumble. C.J. Collins is 5 for 12 on passing for just 38 yards, 2 interceptions. For the Eagles, Grant Schoen, 4 for 10 passing, 27 yards, 2 interceptions. You see a theme here. These defenses have just been phenomenal.
Yes, they have. And Collins now back in the saddle. Trip set up top. Handoff to, I think that's Bickham. Pickup of maybe 1 or 2 on the play.
And again, the only stat that really matters in my mind, well, honestly, there's 2.
Okay.
The turnovers, 6 combined turnovers. The 2 for the Lions that really mattered was the one that returned for a touchdown and the one deep in their own end that took points off the board for the Eagles. But for the Lions, 4 penalties for 35 yards. 1 erased a touchdown, another stalled out a drive that could have led to points.
Screen pass to Moncrief. Tried to elude one tackler out to the 35-yard line.
Meanwhile, the Eagles did not commit a single penalty on either side of the ball. Something else we talked about pregame is that they're very disciplined. They only average around 6 penalties a game. Well, there's 0 penalties for them so far. Looking at the overall team stats, and it's just not pretty offensively. 38 passing yards for the Lions, 27 for the Eagles. Total yards for the Lions, just over 100. For the Eagles, they're looking at just 59 total yards after the first half.
And that gets nothing either. The Eagles' defense came to play in the second half.
They came to play in the first half, too, and that's number 55, Aaron Regner, bringing down, is that Bickham for a loss?
It is Bickham.
And that will, the Lions come right out.
They'll have
and
to
they face a familiar foe for the first half, and that's a strong defense. A 3-and-out, and Chad Deeren is out to punt.
Facing a strong wind. Chad Deeren, this is about the same spot he had a punt of -2 about a half an hour ago. And that one's much better, but you see get caught up in the wind again. And it rolls forward to the 46-yard line. Good field position for the Eagles in their first possession of the second half.
They've had good field position on several of their drives. Again, none better than the drive that started at the SAGU 28-yard line, but that got nowhere and ended up resulting in a turnover. If you're this offense, again, helmed by Schoen, you've just got to forget that first half. You almost have to think to yourself, you know what? We're not going to commit 4 turnovers again. So let's just get out there, let's clean up our act, and let's get some points on the board.
And the play is good for just a couple.
Yeah, Marquise McCormick comes across, trips up the receiver. It's just going to be a gain of 1.
Just 27 yards, Tim, receiving for these Eagles, and it is definitely cold. Even our 2 guests at halftime from Minnesota winked at me and said, yeah, it's cold. We admit it, it's cold.
Yeah, temperature's 50, feels like 43. But it always feels colder in Texas. Maybe because you don't expect it, it just feels like it's way colder in Texas.
Well, because the wind, 26 mile an hour, it makes it a lot colder. Schoen trying to air it out, pass complete to the 46-yard line. Pass caught by Joe Sutton. He had 1 ball in the first half for 12, a pickup of about 10 on that play.
And it's going to bring up a 3rd and short for the Eagles. Pretty much the only drive of the game they've had any offensive success is the one that ended up giving the Lions 6 points off of the fumble. They started off looking very sharp on the opening drive of the game. They're going to try to keep this opening drive of the second half moving, try to get some points on the board.
3rd down and 2, tight set. The handoff to Cash. No, sir. No, sir. Ethan Eastwood wraps him up for a 2-yard loss.
Ethan Eastwood is making his case for player of the game right now. He has a pick, a forced fumble, and here on a big 3rd and 1 comes up huge. The junior from Maypearl, Texas, just down the road.
Just shoots the gap, beats his man number 61 on the play, Micah Van Zee, and he wipes out any idea of a long drive in the first possession for the Eagles, and they'll have to punt it back away, and a whistle right at the point of the snap. The referees do stop play.
Let's see what this is. This could be interesting, depending on what the call here is.
It was 4th and 6. If it's against the Lions, it would bring up a 4th and 1. Then you have to consider, well, do we maybe rethink the punt?
The referee is counting up heads right now, so we will see if maybe too many men on the field. And that's what it is. Too many men on the field for the Lions.
Infraction, 12 minute and 4 minute.
That's the second time this has
5-yard
happened.
penalty. Still 4th down.
For the Lions.
12 men on the field for the Lions. So now if you're the Eagles, do you rethink it? And looks like they will not. Looks like Coach Talley will keep it where it is. He'll just take the 5 and punt it. Try to pin the Lions deep.
Low snap for sure. Corner coffin kick, and it goes out of bounds. And it's sailed out, but the ref is still walking up around the 25-yard line. Let's keep going to the 27-yard line.
Not a good punt at all. Again, we talked about the wind. It's coming across the field from your left to right, watching from your computer, but it's also coming across the field as well a little bit.
Right.
And that caught the ball there. So the Eagles try to pin the Lions deep. Instead, the Lions, well, they're fine. They got the ball at the 28-yard line. We mentioned the only good drive the Eagles had on offense. The Lions really have only had one good drive on offense, the one that did lead to their field goal. That was, I believe, a 10-play drive, or sorry, 15-play drive. First drive of the game for the Lions.
And pass incomplete, intended for Moncrief. Not a good throw by Collins. Collins threw for 171 last week, going 15 for 26, had 3 touchdowns. J.P. Lowry rushed for 90 yards, had 2 touchdowns. And that pass there, Collins off the mark. He's now 5 of 13 on the day, 38 yards total in the air. Bring up 2nd down and 10. Lions will keep it on the ground. A pickup of 2 or 3 on the play. I think it's Lowry. What do they say, 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
I think nowadays these fields have those rubber pellets.
Yeah,
so 3 yards in a cloud of pellets and AstroTurf or whatever it is nowadays. And so it's going to become a 3rd and mid, 3rd and 7 here.
Collins, all kinds of time now, rolls, spins back, rolls right. Underneath the coverage, it's Jenkins down to the 39-yard line, and good enough, I believe, close to a first down.
It will be enough for a first down, and C.J. Collins does a great job keeping the play alive with his feet until his receiver can get open. You see here, good job on the offensive line to not let the unchallenged man come through, but Collins keeps the play alive, and it is a first down for the Lions.
Petty got away with a hold on that one, number 77. Refs didn't see it. Bring up 1st down and 10. Ball at the 39-yard line. Lions have got the wind against them, so they'll probably keep this on the ground and do a lot of short passing. And there's the rush. And that's going to go nowhere. And they'll give him forward momentum at the 36-yard line. A loss of 2.
Yeah, Ben Greener, who got a hold of the running back, and that was it. Here, you are not going to get away from Ben Greener once he has a hold of your jersey. It pretty much just takes it for himself at that point.
He's just going to hold on and say, I'm going where you're going, and you're going down.
Loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12.
So this is interesting. Now, this is definitely a passing situation. Let's see if they go up over the top here, try to get one past. No, they'll elect to run again the short side of the field. Lowry cuts up, gets to the 42-yard line. Bring up about 3rd and 6, maybe 3rd and 7 for the Lions.
They're able to convert from this mid-range distance last time. This is how they got their field goal drive on their first offensive drive of the game. As Lowry's able to just kind of keep his footwork alive to pick up a few extra. They had some big third down conversions that led to that field goal.
Collins over the middle, got a man tip and caught. Torres Hill, the intended receiver, caught it on the tip. And first down, Lions at the 40-yard line. Big play by the Lions.
Number 27 with the tip. That's Austin Stubbs. Almost able to get a hold of an interception there. Instead, he tips it right to the receiver. Big offensive play for the Lions. They're in Eagles territory at the 40.
Shovel pass to Lowry. Nothing doing. And we're getting a report from our Adam Ferguson that Jeremiah Mott, unfortunately, is going to be out the rest of the game with a thumb injury, the senior. And then Caleb Shelley, the tight end, number 88, also out for the rest of the game with a knee injury. So two key players, one on offense, one on defense, no longer at the disposal of Frank Tristan.
Caleb Shelley is the big one right there. Your big tight end. You're losing him when you're already struggling so much on offense. Losing one of those anchors on this offense could be tough. C.J. Collins so far, though, has done a good job of overcoming it on this drive. Getting a little bit of luck on that last tip, though.
Yes, sir. Lowry picks up a couple.
So here we'll bring up again.
Just patience, good patience, just to even pick up, actually that was Bickham, even just to pick up 3.
9 first downs for the Lions today. They're going to need 9 yards for the 10th right here. They've converted 2 third and mid-range distances so far. Can they make it 3? C.J. Collins back in this pistol.
Collins in trouble, scrambles left, looks upfield, may keep it himself. Jukes his defender, and that is Ben Greener pulling down Collins at the 35-yard line. They'll bring up second down, actually 4th down and 5.
Yeah, good job by Greener, just keeping Collins
contained. Yeah, absolutely.
Keeping in front of Collins the whole way. Yeah. And because of that, the drive will stall out at the Eagles 35. If the wind wasn't in your face, you might think about trying the field goal here with Chad Deeren, but you got to punt now and just hope to pin the Eagles deep. We said that a lot, pin them deep, because that's all these teams can do on offense right now is punt.
Right.
Oh,
this is going to be a good punt, actually. This will be a good punt out around the 15-yard line.
Eagles brought good pressure on it. Oh, no. Referee saw it.
We'll say
up to the
19-yard line. All right.
Again, the way these two defenses have played, though, right now, 19, 15, it hasn't really mattered. Both of these defenses have just been unbelievable thus far.
Now, we've got some Minnesota trivia, some Northwestern Minnesota trivia coming your way sometime in the second half, so be ready.
Right here
Those
it is.
watching from Minnesota. In fact, here it is. What former NFL stadium did the University of Northwestern play in when they last won the Victory Bowl in 2008? If you know the answer, let us know via Twitter. Send us a little tweet with that answer.
And while we
SAGU Sports Network Twitter feed, and we'll let you know if you guessed it right.
And while we were waxing historic, Chris Simon Wallace able to break off a big run there. That'll be, no surprise, the Eagles' biggest gain of the day. He goes around 17, 18, around 15 yards up to the 34, picks up the first down. And like I said, that's the, up until that point, no running back for the Eagles even had more than 15 yards.
Man in motion. Sutton. Shown back to Simon Wallace again.
Muhammad Mansoureh comes right up the gap, trips up Wallace for a loss. So one big play, then one setback. That's kind of the way it's been going so far. Anytime the offense gets any momentum, the defense steps up, makes a big play, whether it's a turnover, throwing a play for a loss. These offenses have just been unable to find any way past the defense.
Monserrat, a senior from Dallas, Texas, told me midweek he's going to leave it all out on the field. It's his last game he's ever going to play as a Lion. He is leaving nothing left but his very best. A great play on that one right there. Here's a screen play, and it is incomplete. Pass intended for Caleb Cowenhoven.
Yep, goes right through his hands. Ball's thrown a little bit in front of him. He's able to get his hands on it, though. If he'd have got it, probably would have gained a 4 or 5, bring up a better third down, but just led a little bit too much by Schoen. Now Zach Cash comes into the game for the Eagles as they face a 3rd and 11 at their own 33-yard line.
Schoen back to pass, 7-step drop, throws right. Pass caught at the 36-yard line, and diving forward to the 39 is number 85. It's Cody Carlson on the catch.
Great effort by Carlson to go up and get the catch and fight for the extra yardage, but he's still going to be a good 6 yards short of the first down. Yeah, has to extend for it while he's being blanketed by Deontay Morrison. Like I said, he's able to get a little bit more before Ethan Eastwood brings him down, but still well shy of the first down. And it's going to bring up a 4th and 6 or so.
Where's our Jeremy Pilote watch? He may be doing something else of trickery on these punts. And there's a kind of a knuckler punt. Taken on the 25-yard line, and at the 13, it is Pilote again. He likes to go ahead and grab that ball, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He's done it 3 times so far. The first 2, he was able to flip field position. That one, it didn't matter, though. It brought down immediately, and the Lions will take over at the 13.
There's your answer, Mr. Tim. The Metrodome in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where the Minnesota Vikings played for many, many years. Growing up watching them on TV, that's where they would play. I know they have a new stadium now, but that is where the last time these Eagles won a victory bowl in a 60,000 seat complex. Metrodome.
I have some thoughts about the Metrodome I won't repeat, but that's okay. The Vikings deserve a new stadium. Let's just say that.
Vikings having a good year. I think
very good
5
year,
and 2 right now. They've overtaken the Packers.
Minnesota fans watching right now getting to enjoy a little bit of Teddy Bridgewater, Adrian Peterson.
We lent them a Texan runner. You know, Peterson's from Texas, so all you Eagles fans watching, we're lending him to you for a while.
I used to live in Palestine, Texas, and right there you see the Lions brought down for another loss. Just up the middle, number 28, Luke Summerlot. Linebacker splits right through, throws him for around a 3-yard loss. 2nd and 12 at the Lions 11.
Little trap play down to the 17-yard line. Check that 14-yard line. Kirk Talley in his 15th season at the helm.
He's there talking with Simon Wallace right now. He won the Victory Bowl 12, 49-44. Like I said, he's a veteran coach with a lot of veteran players. They've been in this situation this before. There's still plenty of time for them to come back. Lions are going to get a good run here. It looks like they're going to be just shy of the first down. Lions are asking for the first down, but I don't think they're going to get it. Looks like they're going to be just half a yard shy. And at their own 23-yard line, I mean, it's a no-brainer right now. The way your defense has played, you got to send the punting unit out there. Just hope this one doesn't get thrown back for a safety, the way the wind's been.
Boy, Ben Greener's had a great game today. 2 weeks ago, had 15 tackles, 2 for a loss, half a sack. These Eagles forced 3 turnovers on that day. They've already forced, I think, 2 or 3 today. And a kind of a weird kick that kind of finally just settles right at exactly midfield in the middle of the W.
Kind of a quick kick almost, just trying to get the ball out. The Eagles have been bringing good pressure on each of these punts, almost had a couple of blocks. and anytime the ball gets up in the air, it gets blown backwards. So the Eagles, again, take over with great field position. Can they finally take advantage of it?
First-year head coach Frank Tristan, 5-0 on this field, undefeated. 7-3 in his first year. He played college football at one of our sister schools, Evangel, in the Assemblies of God, and he is well on his way to a long, promising career as a Lions head coach.
And what a way to start it off if he can find a way to keep this Victory Bowl going SAGU's way.
Pump fake shown, got a man. Oh, he was open, just overthrew him. Pass intended for number 6.
That's Caleb Cohenhoven. He's their leading receiver. He did a great job.
There's the pump.
And then breaks off.
You got to find him there.
It looked like Cohenhoven held up a little bit, looking for where the ball might be, and then the ball just sails a little bit on Schoen. If he was able to deliver a strike, it's 10-7.
I don't want to blame it on the sun, but by the angle, it looks like that ball could have been lost in the sun at this point of the day as he was looking over his right shoulder. Let's bring up 2nd down and 10. High snap. Schoen rolls right, throws right, pass caught near midfield down to the 44-yard line.
And again, that's going to be Cody Carlson. Had a couple of real good catches today, and he's able to fight his way down for, he said, around 6 yards it's going to be. So it's going to set up a 3rd and 4. Here's something worth noting. The Eagles only have another 2 minutes with the wind at their backs. They're going to have the wind in their face the entire 4th quarter, so they need to take advantage of this opportunity. You don't want to go into the 4th quarter against a defense as good as the Lions are right now, down 10-0. You need to go down and get some
at least get
points.
3. High snap again, showing underneath coverage. He's got a man still on his feet down to the 20. I have to check at 34-yard line.
Yeah, it was a risky throw, but that time it paid off. Joe Sutton comes down with it, slices through the Lions defense, gets the 1st down, breaks a couple of tackles. The Eagles are in business. Their best looking drive of the 2nd half so far.
6th play of the drive. This ball began right at the 50-yard line precisely after that short punt by Chad Deeren. A minute left to try to punch it in before the wind is against you. Schoen going for it all. He's got a man.
Cohenhoven had it, and it's knocked away by Carl Morgan, 6-foot-tall defensive back for the Lions. He just stayed with Cohenhoven the whole way and knocks it away. That could have been a touchdown if Cohenhoven's able to come down with this.
It's just who gets the highest at the highest point.
Cohenhoven had 2 hands on it.
Yeah.
He had 2 hands on it at the 2-yard line. Great defensive play by the Lions.
Plenty of time. Morgan made up ground in a hurry.
It was a good throw by Schoen, too. He put it where his receiver had a shot.
Schoen back pass again. Rolls right. Pass complete to 25. Spinning back down to the 22-yard line. That is Joe Sutton on the catch. And they'll move the chains, Tim. And now you may want to consider, I know it's 3rd quarter, but do you call a timeout? There's a minute left before the wind is really not your friend anymore.
You can't.
This is a very interesting call here.
Yeah, you can't.
They are
burn
not
the
calling timeout.
You can't burn a timeout when you have a game this close. Those are timeouts you can't afford to lose going into the 4th quarter. You just need to go ahead and punch it in here.
Handoff. Round left tackle. That is B.J. Foster on the carry. Picks up 3 of 4, and the Eagles are definitely in field goal range for sure with the wind. Can they punch it in and cut the lead to 3?
I think they're in field goal range for the next 25 seconds. If you know, by the time they're trying a field goal, they will no longer be in field goal range.
They would not be. At 19 yards out the other side of the field, you are not in field goal range. 10th 1st down. Schoen underneath coverage, nearly picked up, but actually caught instead. Well, that was a bang-bang play catch by
Carlson again. Carlson again fighting off the defender, is able to get both hands on the ball, pull it into his chest. You're right, that was risky. Lions made the move there. That's number 37.
And the quarter, Tim, has run out, and so the Eagles will now have to negotiate the win the rest of the way. The ball's on the 13-yard line, and I say this carefully. They're barely in field goal range at the 13-yard line.
13-yard line.
That would be add 17 yards? It'd be about a 30-yard field goal.
Yeah.
If the drive stalls out here.
That'd be tough. But they're facing a 3rd and 1 right now, so that's where their thoughts are at the moment. Is this 3rd and 1 play? And the Eagles, again, this is what they've needed all game long. Just put together a couple of good plays in a row. Get the Lions on their heels a little bit. Make them start playing off. The Lions have been able to just leave linebackers underneath the spy on Schoen. That's how they got their 2 interceptions, just staying underneath. Now they're on the heels. Those linebackers have to drop back a little bit, drop back into covers. They can't bring it like they have been. And the Eagles are going to start this 3rd quarter with a 3rd and 1.
Here again, some Victory Bowl history. 1997, so we're in the 19th Victory Bowl, 11 cities, 19 points, average margin of victory, 67, biggest win, 1 point, and that involves the Northwestern game. They lost to Greenville. And SAGU's the 14th team to compete, and it's the first time.
Here we go,
Texas.
3rd down, handoff.
Oh, it's going to be really close.
Oh, it's going to be so close.
Eastwood right there on the stop, and so was number 40 on the stop, Michael Wade.
Where the referees are marking it, this is not going to be a first down. It looks like he's brought down for no gain.
Wade. I think Wade did the job.
So here we go.
Started it. They're going to go for
4th and 1, yeah, with the wind in their face.
4th and inches. I mean, 3 or 4 inches.
This is
quarterback sneak time, perhaps. Sutton in motion. Big play for the Eagles. Back to pass. And it is incomplete. Nearly picked off by Marquise McCormick. It's a good thing he did drop it because they just saved themselves about 3 or 4 yards. Either way, Lions get the ball back on a huge stop.
A huge stop. You start with a 3rd and 1. You hold them for no gain. The Eagles try the little passing route. McCormick was never fooled by it. He stayed with his defender. He stayed with his man. He's able to knock that one down, and the Lions defense comes up big again. You see McCormick, he sees where his man is. He just stays in front of him. The throw could have been a little bit better by Schoen. It kind of held up a little bit, gave the defender a chance to get in front of it. And so the Lions offense takes back over on a turnover on downs. It doesn't go in the books as a turnover, but it might as well have been.
Yeah, I'm going to mark that moment at 14-15, 4th and inches. You basically had a field goal, you would think, right there, and they chose to pass instead of a quarterback sneak on that 4th and inches play. Here's Lowry out to the 22-yard line.
It's a tough. I mean, it's really tough when you get to the 4th quarter and you're looking at a 4th and 1. When the defense has shown they can stop everything you can do. They can stop your passing game. They can stop your rushing game. You just ran on a 3rd and 1 and got nothing. So it's so, at this point, it feels like you're just having to throw whatever card you have right there. Nothing's really worked for you. But the Lions defense keeps them off the board again.
Bouncing off one tackler, back nearly to the line of scrimmage is Lowry. What credit this Eagles defense for keeping the ball team, or the ball game close.
Oh, absolutely. Again, the only thing the Eagles defense has done is given up a field goal drive. That's all they've done so far. They've taken the ball away twice. Thanks to some great defense, they've handed good field position to the Eagles offense almost every single time. The Eagles offense has been starting at the 50 or beyond almost every time they get the ball, it feels like.
Lowry stopped again, and the Eagles are going to get the ball back in really good field position.
Yeah, the defense again comes right back out, stands up. Kudos to the Eagles defense. It can get exasperating after a while when you just do, when time and time again you give the offense great opportunities and the offense can't take advantage of it. A lot of times you'll see the defense finally bend and break at that point. This Eagles defense has not so far, and because of that, with 12 minutes and 40 seconds to go, this is still very much a ball game.
How much of a factor do you think, for the Texas team especially, is the wind and the cold having on all these turnovers? Is that the reason, in your opinion, we've seen so many turnovers, or is it just, you know, the ball bouncing funny ways and certain hits?
Field position, that ball went out of bounds at the 46-yard line, so there you go again. The Eagles offense set up with beautiful field position, for at least the sixth time today. I haven't been keeping count, but it has to be at least the sixth time they started at the 50 or beyond, or in that vicinity. You know, it's hard to say. I mean, first and foremost, I would just give the credit to this Eagles defense. We knew they were great coming into this. They only give up 12.5 points a game, so that's where I'd give the credit. But yeah, with these receivers sometimes pulling the ball in, I mean, you're used to training in 110-degree weather in Texas, and all of a sudden it's 40 degrees the last time you're going to play. It can be a little bit of a change for these players.
Simon Wallace spins around, goes a bit airborne for a moment down to the 43-yard line.
Again, I would say the wind is a much bigger factor than any sort of cold weather, though.
Look at his hit he took.
Once you're out there geared up and playing hard, you don't feel the cold. When you punt the ball up in the air and the wind decides to blow it backwards or out of bounds immediately, you feel the wind.
It's out of your control.
You can't not feel the wind.
Sure.
You can ignore the cold. 2nd and 7 now. The Eagles offense, they just got to do something. They've just got to find a way to score.
Well, let's keep it on the ground again.
And if you're the Eagles offense, I got to feel like this. Now that you're on the SAGU end of the field, facing a 3rd and 6 right here, this has got to be 4-down territory. You got to be thinking 4 downs. You've been playing the field possession game all day long, and you've been winning it all day long, but you have yet to be able to score for it. So it's time to stop playing for field position and just go ahead and try to put some points on the board.
3rd and 5, passing situation, but you know, what do we know? They might run it. A shown drop back to pass, and Devon Brown says, I'm going to get my first sack of the game. And that'll bring up 4th and forever, and the Lions will get the ball back again.
Yeah, that's huge play, Devon Brown. I was just saying they've got to be in 4-down territory, but not after that. Not when Devon Brown is going to make it a 4th and 13. Devon Brown, he has the only touchdown of the game right now. He has another fumble recovery, and there's a sack. So Brown coming up huge in this victory bowl.
A low line drive punt taken at the 15. It's Palat down to the 20.
Hold your breath when Palat gets the ball. It always feels risky, but he's made it work so far. The Lions will set up at their own 21-yard line.
Let's go down to the field and check in with Adam Ferguson.
Thanks, Rob. I'm down here on the field in the first quarter. I talked to C.J. Collins, the quarterback, and he said watch out for the offense. They might have tried to air it out here with the wind at their backs. It's all game long. It's been blowing from the north side of the end zone to the south. And right now, here in the 4th, they have the ball up 10-0 with the wind at their backs. Look for them to try to put the nail in the coffin here, maybe get a touchdown. But this is definitely the position they want to be in on offense, again, with that wind at their backs. That's all I have for now. Back to you, Rob.
Well, I'd love to see some air attack. We mentioned pregame Collins. He's one of the best throwers in the CSFL. But we've been calling games all year, Tim, and on SAGU Sports Network. And this is probably the worst performance we've seen by Collins.
On the return team.
And another penalty
being enforced.
here.
The end of the run, half this to the goal, automatic first down.
So I saw the flag at the 50-yard line when we threw it down to Adam, but nothing was happening from it. So I thought, oh, maybe it was an accidental flag. There was still discussion, but it's going to be a face mask on the Lions. So there goes any decent field position they had. That's tough. I mean, you want to air it out, but this Eagles defense has shown they can pick the ball off just as easy as you can. It would be nice to make you would feel very good with a 17-point lead right now. As it is, 10 points can be gone in a split second. So we'll see what the Lions do now with 89 yards ahead of them.
Eagles send 4 up the line to pick up a 4 on the play. I've not called the name of Andres Brewster one time yet. We've called Taurus Hill's name maybe once or twice. Vanique Benton, I think, once. And, of course, Shelley's out. So Collins needs to find some answers in the air if those receivers are being covered.
And the Lions really haven't tried anything deep so far. Everything's been underneath or on the ground.
Not one truly long Collins ball, which we're used to seeing several times a game. They've not tried that one time this entire contest here in the Victory Bowl. Bring up 3rd down and 6. Talk about the Eagles defense. The Lions are pitching a shutout. Let's remember that. It's 10-0. against a team that averages 29 points a game in these Eagles. And underneath, pass caught, complete. There's Hill. There's a flag. Hill cuts back and pushed down at the 29-yard line, but a flag behind the line of scrimmage.
And it did appear to be in the area of holding. And the Lions offense is kind of hanging around that area, so that would seem to indicate that's exactly.
Personal foul. 61 of the offense. Blow to the head.
Wow.
It'll be in 4. Half the distance to go. Still third down.
Dane Macklin, the freshman, a 255-pounder from Fort Worth, called for a call we hardly ever hear. What do you say, a blow to the head?
Blow to the head. You usually hear that called, again, on a quarterback, on a defensive player hitting the quarterback.
Right.
Must have been maybe something, a little bit of a scrum breaking out after the play was kind of over, throwing a hand up there, just maybe a little bit too much unnecessary roughness. So it erases the first down, and it's 3rd and 14 at the Lions 7. Eagles are eager to get across that line. They haven't got called for offsides yet, even though they've been very close a few times.
5 in the box. Will they blitz? They typically run a 3-4 defense, which would be 3 down linemen. Now the linebackers pop back. They'll just send 3. And Collins is going to keep it himself. He follows some blockers, leads out to the 15-yard line.
And that gets a little bit more breathing room for your punting unit. And they do have the wind at their back, as Collins does just safely stays behind his blockers. So we heard Adam saying that they might want to try to air it out, but they play very conservative on that drive.
Look at these penalties. Not a single penalty, Tim, committed by the Eagles. You mentioned pregame the discipline of this team, and they're showing it right there in that stat. Meanwhile, 7 for 62, and some of those have been 12 men on the field for the Lions.
Yeah, those penalties have derailed a couple of drives, and right there they erase a first down. Don't forget the illegal block in the back that took away a 95-yard punt return for a touchdown. The penalties have hurt the Lions a lot, slowing down. Again, when you're already playing against a defense that's doing such a good job against you, that's keeping you from getting any sort of momentum, when you shoot yourself in the foot like that right there, you get illegal blocks in the back on the punt. And another great run on the block there by the Eagles. Of course, they've had a lot of practice because there's been a lot of punts today.
Yes, indeed.
These punting units are getting a lot of extra work in today. Lions, they need to shore that up. You don't want that to happen, have a blocked punt.
Lions bring 4, pass underneath coverage.
Carlson again, he's kind of become the go-to guy for Schoen, as the Eagles offense has been better in the second half. They put together a couple of good drives.
Little hitch route here.
They had the one stall out inside the 15-yard line when they were stopped on 4th and 1. And then they just, again, they can't finish the drives off. And they are running out of time now. We are under 9 minutes to play, down 10. This might be a must-score drive if you're the Eagles.
That's the kind of play, get just past the line, but not past the secondary, the 9-yard hitch. That's working for the Eagles. They try it again. Meanwhile, left side, it's Simon Wallace past midfield into Lions territory down to the 49-yard line.
That will be enough for a first down.
Yes, sir.
And we talked earlier about how the Lions are doing a good job of stretching that field and not letting the Eagles find that sort of corner to hit. Well, right there, the Eagles are able to finally find the corner, and they pick up a first down because of it.
Nice stiff arm there by Simon Wallace to shed one tackler. So here we go in Lions territory. 8 minutes and change left. Pitch back to Cash. Eludes one tackler, still on his feet, scrambles forward down to the 45-yard line. Good pickup by Cash of 4-yard lines, and he ran about 20 to get 4.
That's the best run we've seen from Cash today. He looks like he's going to get brought down for a loss of 2, sheds the tackler, sheds another one at the 50, is able to pick up a little bit, and that's huge because that's what's been happening to the Eagles all game. They'll get a big play on offense, get a little momentum, the Lions will throw him for a 2-3-yard loss. Zach Cash breaks that trend. Can the Eagles break their scoreless trend now at the Lions 45?
Under 8 to play. Oh, he's got a man open. Oh, he overthrew him. He was open. Caleb Cowanhoven. The defense bit on the pump, and Cowanhoven was there for the taking.
Schoen faked everybody out. He was looking out into the flat like he was going to go for the bubble screen, looking. The defense gave up on Cowanhoven, and the ball just is not put on the right spot. Looked like the Cowanhoven
went
might have got a little bit
past
lost.
Morgan. Now we do have Morrison giving chase, but he had Morgan beat. That'll bring up 3rd and 6. Will the drive stall out? The Eagles need to at least get 3 on the board. They're down 2 scores, and time is now no longer on their side. There's a screen pass, an overthrown pass intended for B.J. Foster. Once again, 4th down.
4th and 6, and it looks like the Eagles offense will, in fact, stay on the field. I had a feeling they were going to stay on the field last time before the sack just dropped it into, 4th and a mile. Now they're going to call a timeout.
Timeout, Northwestern. That's our first timeout of the half.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's be Coach Kirk Talley. It's 4th and 6. You've got to score on this possession, theoretically. Running the ball has not been working very well for you, although the last run by Zach Cash was fine. Airing the ball deep in this wind, it's hard to predict. I think just a little short route underneath coverage may be your best option, but you got to spread out the receivers to give yourself room to catch the ball.
That's what they were trying to do last time, trying to get the ball to B.J. Foster. The throw was just not on target. I think right now, Schoen, he's got to be looking for Carlson. That's kind of been his main focus in the second half. Cody Carlson has done a good job of keeping some drives alive, so that's who I'm looking for on this play, number 85. See if he can use his height. He is 6'2". He weighs 190. Can he muscle his way open? And actually, what am I saying? The Eagles have decided to punt. There will be no fourth down attempt. The Eagles call the timeout, talk it over.
They're going to put their trust in their defense. See, speaking of defense, Devon Brown, you saw the stat there. One of the top defensive players in the NAIA. Now, here's a low kick that just almost stops on a dime. And the Eagles will put their faith in the defense once again. Can they get one more stop, get the ball back with a quick score, perhaps an onside kick, another score, and try to push this thing into maybe an overtime? Because right now it looks like it is all Lions here, 10-0 with now 7:19 remaining. If you're the Lions, run the ball. The clock is your friend. Let those seconds tick off.
And that definitely wasn't the punt Coach Talley was hoping for. It didn't go very far, and the moment it hit the ground, it just stuck. There was no roll, so they don't pin the Lions deep. Yeah, I think the Lions you got to play it conservative now. You've had the whole game to try to play offense. You haven't been able to do it. Don't risk a turnover here. That is the absolute worst thing that could happen.
Collins will keep it himself. Gets pickup of maybe 2 on the play. I think that was a design play, too.
It looked to be. Because also, if you're the Lions right now, if you can pick up a couple first downs, milk this clock down to under 2 minutes, you've got this game. It's leading by 2 scores like you are. You've got a lot to work with right now.
2 receivers down below, 1 up top. Screen, pass complete, flag thrown. Receiver still on his feet, past the 35. That is number 86. That is Justin Allen, but a flag behind the line of scrimmage, Tim.
And C.J. Collins immediately goes talking to the ref.
Personal foul, face mask, 5 the offense. 50-yard penalty. Still second down.
If you're the Eagles, that's just what the doctor ordered. Let the Lions pin themselves in their own side of the field.
And that's what the Lions have been doing for them all game. Just bad penalties the whole game. The penalty margin now is just so significant. These two teams. The Lions are +2 in turnovers, but they're now, I believe that was the 8th penalty on the Lions, so they're -8 on penalty margin, and that is what has kept the Eagles in this game, really, is that the offense has stayed behind the chains so much. You pick up a first down, the clock's going to roll, you're doing great. Instead, now the clock stops due to the penalty.
Right.
2nd and 19, back at your own 13-yard line.
Well, what's interesting is, had you shown me a stat of just the penalties and then had me guess which team was leading 10-0, I would say, well, it's got to be the Eagles. But it's not. It's the Lions. in a crazy, crazy 19th Victory Bowl, a team that has 0 flags is losing 10-0, and the team that's got 8-9 penalties for nearing 100 yards finds themselves nursing a 10-0 lead with now 6:09 remaining in the ball game.
Yeah, it definitely has not been pretty unless, again, if you're a defensive coordinator, it's been beautiful. Just go ahead and take the entire game film from what you've seen so far and teach how to play defense in a postseason game. Lions facing 3rd and a mile here, and you got to figure this is just going to be a run, keep it safe, try to take some more time off the clock because we are under 6 minutes to play. When the Eagles get this ball back, it's going to be pure desperation.
This is just what Talley was hoping for when he elected to punt on 4th and 6 when the ball near midfield. You and I both thought they're going to go for it.
Offense.
So
3rd down.
That may have been an acceptable delay of game. I'm not sure, but they're just trying to milk clock off now.
I think you're trying to get the clock down to 1 and then get the snap off, and they just didn't get the snap off in time. So it costs you 5 yards, and you're already pinned so deep.
Well, now it's 3rd and Corsicana. 3rd and 23. For C.J. Collins and company, they'll elect to run up the middle on delayed handoff, and Lowry gets maybe a couple, and here comes Chad Deeren again. Got the wind, I guess you could say, at his side, not fully his back, as it's blowing pretty strong for Deeren. It'll be going from left to right as he's facing downfield, so look for a kick to end near the Lions side of the field.
Watch the Eagles punt rush here. They have been so close so many times. That would turn this game on a dime if they could get a punt block with the Lions punter standing at his own 1-yard line. That would either be a safety or a touchdown if you can get a hold of it. So I would be surprised if they don't bring an absolute.
And Eastwood's the snapper on defense, and a whistle right at the snap. They'll stop that play.
And it's going to be
timeout.
And it is a timeout called in the field.
And that might just be a precautionary timeout. Bring your team over and remind them, hey, they've been in Chad Deeren's face on pretty much every single punt so far. We've got 4 minutes and 36 seconds left. The way our defense has been playing, if we can get this punt off cleanly, we are in very good shape. The one thing that can't happen, or the two things that can't happen, is a massive punt block or a big punt return. So you've got to be clean on special teams right now.
Now, we've got one more trivia question for you here with just a few minutes left. It involves also a Victory Bowl game. We'll have that for you in just a second. And those who are from the UNW area will probably be able to pick this up. Here's the question for the UNW Eagles won Victory Bowl 4 at Fawcett Stadium, which up until last year hosted what annual NFL game? Get your thinking cap on.
So we had the Metrodome, and now we got another former NFL used stadium. So here we go. Like I said, just if you're the Lions, you want to keep this totally clean. Just get the punt off. Here comes the
rush. And they do get it off, and it's a pretty good one. Fielded at the 37. It is Sutton still on his feet. Turns up corner. He's got some running room down into Lions territory, Tim, down past the 30, down to the 28-yard line. Okay, so here we go. This is what Talley wanted, what he was hoping for. What else can you ask for? It's time for the offense to deliver.
You're about to say, if you're the Eagles, defense and special teams, you just got to walk over and go, guys, look at where the ball is. We've been giving you the ball inside Lions territory all game. Can you just go get some points for us? Starting at the Lions 27, a great return. Like I said, just what Coach Talley was wanting. When he punted that ball away, that's exactly what he wanted to draw up, was a turn of events like that.
So basically you lost 3 minutes, but you gained about 10, 12 yards. You're still down by 2 scores from the time that punt decision was made on 4th and 6 from the 40-yard line. Schoen's got to make something happen. Going for all of it. Got a man that's picked off and then dropped. Carl Morgan had it in his hands, pass intended for number 85, Cody Carlson, the man you mentioned, but it's incomplete.
I think Cody Carlson got a hand on that. It looks like that's going to be an interception. I think Cody Carlson is able to reach his hand in here, play a little defense, and yes, he does. He reaches in, gets a hold of that ball. Otherwise, that's Carl Morgan with the third interception for the Lions of the day.
He may have gone to the house, too.
Yeah, and that might have been the ball game. Yeah, if that's intercepted, that might be the ball game. So, Cody Carlson, he catches him and he knocks him away, and so far he's been the best player for the Eagles on offense today, and he keeps their hopes alive with 4:13 left in Victory Bowl 19.
Pitch back. Down to the 15-yard line. That's B.J. Foster.
B.J. Foster gets a lot of running room on that one, breaks off a good run down to the 16-yard line. This one is not over yet.
Gets past Montserrat. No, it is not, Tim, with now 4 minutes exactly. 2 timeouts left for the Eagles. Field goal will actually... Field goal, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion, and you win the ball game.
I think the Eagles are
getting ahead of myself, but you never know.
1 point first.
Let's just score.
Going for 2.
Schoen steps up and pass caught and touchdown. Eagles are on the board.
Cody Carlson again. Give him the Offensive Player of the Game award right now for the Eagles. He breaks up what would have been the game-ending interception, and he fights off his defender, goes up and gets that one, and with 3:39 left, it only took the Eagles just over 56 minutes, but they are on the scoreboard. They have broken the shutout, and they are very much alive in this Victory Bowl. Big extra point here, though, with the wind whipping in the kicker's face. Garrett Valentin from Shakopee, Minnesota. That is up and good. So it is 10-7, and now the pressure gets onto the Lions offense. They've only been able to contribute a field goal to the team today. They're going to get the ball back with 3:39 left, needing to milk some time. And Carlson, what a great
pulled it up over his left shoulder and just secured it. He knew the contact was coming. He caught the ball in the end zone. No need to run anymore. He just has made this a very interesting last 3:39 left. Do you onside kick it for the Eagles, or do you once again kick it away, Tim?
The way your defense has been playing, you got to trust your defense. No way do you risk an onside kick here. You kick it deep and let your defense. The Eagles have played a number of close games this year. They lost 16-13 on the season opener against St. Olaf College. They won 21-13 over McMurray. They lost 13-7 to the College of St. Scholastica. And then on Halloween, they beat Greenville College 21-19. So this is their 5th game that's been very close into the final moments. They're 2-2 so far in those tight ball games. The Lions are definitely going to line up like the Eagles are thinking onside kick, that's for sure. And that's definitely the safe move with the wind blowing so strong. You don't have to worry about too deep of a kick here. Don't take the chance. And this is where I might try a little bit of a bloop kick, see if you can drop it around the 25-yard line and pick it up.
Back set to receive is Carl Morgan.
Oh, my
starting cornerback.
Oh, that's... Not sure why this has happened, but the Eagles...
Timeout. Northwestern.
Had the
second of the
out. What? That's big. I'm not sure if the play clock was running low on them, or if they...
I've never seen it before, ever. How do you have a timeout called before you kick off?
That's an unfortunate timeout for UNW, because now they just have one left in the game with just 3:39 to play. There must just be a little bit of miscommunication. You have the touchdown, you have the extra point, you got plenty of time. A little bit of miscommunication. Coach Callie must not have liked what he saw on the lineup. Maybe he wanted to go ahead and dial in a different kind of onside kick. Kind of play.
What happens is sometimes after a score, we all kind of take a breath. Once the referee puts the ball on the tee, does not the game clock begin to run?
I believe you can get a delay of game on a kickoff. You just never see it. And so I think there must have been a little bit of miscommunication going on. And that's a costly...
That could be huge, Tim.
Yeah, because now if you're the Lions, that basically gets rid of one of the first downs you had to get to start running this clock out. You got 3:39 left. You're just a couple of first downs away from winning this thing
That's
now.
it's like a shadow penalty. It's not really a true penalty, but you've just penalized yourself, basically, by having needless timeout. Here's the kick. It is a pooch kick. It's up for grabs. And the Lions have it. Here's a flag. I thought the Eagles picked it up, but instead the Lions picked it up.
Now, we've got a lot of flags.
And there are flags everywhere. Number 83.
We'll see what the call is here. The Eagles had the ball in their hands, just couldn't hold on to it.
I think that was
great.
Devon Jean. We'll take a look at the flag here.
That was a great kick. It was exactly what you were hoping for, and you almost picked it up. We'll see what the call is. All the flags came in at the exact same time, so they're all looking at the same thing.
It looked like an eagle was about to catch it, and out of nowhere, I think it was Gene popped it up out of the air, snagged it, and began to run, and then flags started flying all over the place. Here it is again. Take a look and see. You see okay, number 27 had a handle on it, then it got loose, and it was picked up by a Lion.
Yeah, Austin Stubbs had two hands on it, just couldn't reel it in. That's a tough one to field. The refs are still discussing this one.
If you're the Eagles and you don't have possession, you have to best hope it was against the Lions, and you'll re-kick it. Hope for a re-kick, have a second shot at this.
Here we go.
Here's the call.
Kick catch interference. We're 27 of the kicking team. Spot of the foul.
It's
First down.
against
SAGU.
the Eagles. The Lions will have the ball after all of that.
So even if he had recovered it, it wouldn't have counted. They called kick catch interference, which you don't usually see in an onside kick. That's a surprising flag. A surprising first penalty on the Eagles. That's their first penalty.
It is their first penalty.
Of the game, and it's a surprising one because typically on an onside kick, it's kind of a free-for-all. Whoever can just smash in there. But I guess since the ball hung up in the air and it gave the Lions return man time to get underneath it, the fact that he was run into before the ball got there, and the fact the ball never bounced before it got to him.
That's the call. Once it bounces, you can hit all you want to. The ball's in the air, so there's got to be some space to not hit purple jersey, and that's not what happened. So the Lions get the ball back in pretty good field position here, trying to milk the clock. Lowry around the left side. He's stripped up for a 3-yard loss.
And just like that, it's Austin Stubbs. He's the one that got called for the interference, and he makes up for it by throwing Tally.
He sheds Torres Hill, didn't give much of a block. The quarterback comes in off the left end, gets rid of Hill, and takes care of the running back. And that will bring up second down and
there is 13. A flag on the play after this one, too. Personal foul on the Lions.
This is a bizarre game we're watching today. Between the penalties by the Lions and the turnovers, it's just a bizarrely played, executed game against two very good programs. This should not be what they do.
Two very good teams. That flag stops the clock temporarily. Now they're going to roll it since we're not inside of 2 minutes yet. But that basically, I don't want to say, that basically ends the Lions' chances for a first down. They're back at their own 43-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and a mile after that loss. So they run up the middle again.
3 yards and a cloud of pellets.
So it's 2nd and 30. That was 2nd and 30. So you're going to be set up 3rd and 28. Let's see if the Eagles call their timeout.
Timeout.
And they do.
Northwestern. That's their final timeout of the half.
The Eagles are out of timeout, so let's just go ahead and set the scene for you. We got 2:59 left in the Victory Bowl. The Lions have committed 10 penalties today for 96 yards. That last one just as powerful as any of them, as it basically derailed any chance the Lions have of getting a first down. They've got 3rd and about 29 now. So let's just think about this. More than likely what we're about to see is a very safe handoff.
Clock operator, please reset the game clock. 0, 1, 3, 0, 1.
And we actually
2 seconds back on the clock.
Putting 2 seconds back on the play clock.
So to let the clock run, okay, go ahead. You run the ball.
You run the ball.
Get the clock running again.
So you're going to be punting with just under 2.5 minutes left, more than likely.
No timeouts for the Eagles.
No timeouts for the Eagles. We've seen punts rolled to the 2. We've seen punts blown out of bounds after 3 yards.
We've seen a -2-yard punt.
So the Lions do have the wind sort of at their back, but also coming across their face. So you don't know what's going to happen there at all. So the Eagles could start from anywhere from the 50 to their own 2, but they're going to have around 2.5 minutes to do it, barring just an unbelievable play right here on 3rd and 24 for the Lions.
And it's going to be a pitch end around. Oh, my. Oh, my. There's still running room, and now finally dragged down to midfield was number 86. That's going to be Justin Allen, but Tristan tried a little trickery there on 3rd and forever.
Tried a little trickery.
I thought he was going to stop and throw the ball. Instead, he goes upfield.
Little risky, honestly. Little risky considering the situation. They get to midfield. There is another flag on the play.
There's Collins with the block as well. Here's another flag. Let's get the word on who this will be against. It's against the Lions. That'll put them over the 100-yard.
Well, if it's against the Lions, the Eagles would decline the penalty to force the punt.
True.
It's a legal block back.
Okay.
So the penalty is declined. The Lions move the ball up to the 50.
And it's still 4th and 7,
but that
8.
Penalty is huge because it, again, temporarily stops the clock. Doesn't stop it permanently, but it temporarily stops the clock. So that'll buy the Eagles a few seconds.
And now the clock's running, 2:44 counting. And look at here. Okay, just one man back. Here we go. One man back. It's going to be Sutton. There's going to be 8 in the box, two Eagle defenders just a few yards back from the line of scrimmage. Let's see if they can get a good attempt to block a Deeren punt.
And the Lions are going to take the intentional delay of game here.
Offense.
Give them a
5-yard penalty.
Honestly, with the wind
Still 4th down.
Bad move.
Why not?
Try to get a better chance of pinning them inside the 10, 15-yard line. But yeah, that'll push them over the 100-yard marker, I believe, on penalties.
That will do it. They'll have 101 yards. 101 yards of penalties. This is the most important punt of the game for Mr. Deeren. If he can get the Eagles pinned deep, you're pretty much guaranteed a win. It's going to be tough to score.
I wouldn't say pretty much guaranteed anything in this game.
With 2:22 left, though, going a long distance, and there's going to be a fair catch at the 17-yard line. So there you have it. Long way to go. The Eagles have got the wind against them. That's why it's almost a guarantee when the wind against you to go the distance, and really you've got to probably get to the 10 to 13-yard line to get a decent field goal out.
That is the difficulty that you face here. You have the ball at the 13-yard line. You got 2:22 remaining.
80 yards to go in today's game. In a minute and a half, it's going to be almost impossible in 2 minutes. Let's see if the Eagles are up for the challenge. No timeouts as well, so that's also advantage Lions. Schoen rolls right. Got a man. Got to get out of bounds. Lions want to keep him in bounds, and they do. Clock will continue to run near the 2-minute mark now. A pickup of 4-5 in the play. Safe call. Pass caught by Sutton, and he is wrapped up by Dan Kempen and others.
Right there, Sutton needs to make a quicker move to get out of bounds.
Yes, he does.
Because he sacrificed a good
30 seconds.
30 seconds on the clock, and only got around 1 or 2 yards.
Schoen rolls right in trouble, throws up a duck.
No, that wasn't a duck. That was Devon Brown.
Yes, it was.
That was Devon Brown.
Receiver in the area. 3rd down.
Oh, you're saying receiver in the area, and that's Devon Brown coming in. Yeah, he hit his arm. The ball falls, so it's 3rd and 5, minute 45 remaining. Obviously 4-down territory, no matter what the down and distance is now for the Eagles, as they are at the 18-yard line trying to keep their hopes alive for this one. The Victory Bowl on the line, less than 2 minutes left. What more could you want?
3rd and 5. Schoen, big play here, steps up. Throws up in the middle. It's tipped, and it is incomplete, and that brings up 4th and ball game.
Cohenhoven saves another interception there. That's going to get picked off by Carl Morgan if Cohenhoven doesn't get his hand up there and at least tip that one up, but it does bring up the game.
Good pocket protection by the Eagles offensive line to even give Schoen the time to get that ball out.
Yeah, actually, that would have been Marquise McCormick picking that off. But Cohenhoven keeps it alive for at least one more play.
Here we go, Tim. 4th and 5, ball at their own 18-yard line. Must get to the 23-yard line.
Lions silent, asking for everything they can from the crowd.
Pass is complete, and there's a flag as well, which will stop the clock.
That's enough for a first down. We'll see what the flag is. In the vicinity of defensive holding.
It sure is.
At the moment, and the Lions seem upset, so it probably will be defensive holding, and the game will stay alive. Who is it that caught that ball?
It was Sutton.
Yeah, it was Joe Sutton bringing it down for the first down. The referees will discuss this.
He caught it
Wait, now
right
the Lions are clapping. This might be on the Eagles. The Lions are crashing the huddle.
It is. The game's over.
No, the game wouldn't be over then. The game would set up another 4th down. It would set up 4th and 15, depending on what the call is here.
Unless the receiver's short of the first down. That's what I'm saying. If it's short of the first down, the game's over.
The receiver had the first down. The receiver had the first down on the 4th and 5. And that's what I think the referees are checking right now. So the Lions are still pointing, but the Eagles don't seem to think it's on them.
No one's moving. No team is moving left or right.
On the defense.
It's against the Lions.
Okay, so it was.
Give you a spot.
Like I said,
automatic first down.
Like I said from the start, that looked like it was in the vicinity of defensive holding. Somebody on the Lions' defensive line must have heard something wrong from the referee.
Started clapping.
Started clapping.
See where the hold's at.
Yeah, the hold right there is, but I believe it's going to be, it's going to
Ortega Jones
against Ortega Jones.
Number 37 at the bottom of your screen.
As you mentioned, that penalty's huge because it stops the clock. So the Eagles get the first down and the stop of the clock.
132, Grant Schoen looking for answers. Tipped up in the air. Oh, it was dropped. It hit the ground.
Devon Brown almost had a pick 6 to finish this one off. He has been all over the place. Comes right up the middle.
And Umfenauer almost picked it up. Oh, off his foot and off the turf.
So close for Devon Brown, who has made has had the biggest play of the game so far with the fumble return for a touchdown.
And look at the players at the bottom of your screen urging the crowd to get up on their feet. Finishing strong. Here we go. Schoen rolls right. Looking to pass. Interception. Lions, game over. And victory will belong to the Lions in the 19th annual Victory Bowl. As the 7th turnover of the game, and it's Trevor Van Kempen.
That's his second pick of the game. He just lays down low. Schoen trying to force it in there. Van Kempen gets underneath.
Look at the air he had.
Gets it, and he lands with one finger in the air because the Lions are going to secure victory, forcing their 5th turnover of the game. They're just a couple of kneel downs away from claiming the Victory Bowl, their 8th win of the season.
And the crowd is going crazy for their Lions, upsetting one of the top teams in the NCAA Division III ranks. And Trevor Van Kempen right there, number 47, the man of the hour, 2 picks on the day. Second, the most important of the game, seals the win for the Lions. He's going to keep that game ball. That ball is going nowhere but his trophy case.
So wait, who do you pick as player of the game now?
I don't know.
Van Kempen, they're making it tough on us.
We may need to bring in our director, John Cookman, to break the tie.
You got to make sure he gets his snaps off cleanly. It's been that kind of game. The clock is being milked. The teams start exchanging handshakes in an absolutely gritty, hard-fought battle here today at Lumpkin Stadium. And for head coach Frank Tristan, he's an offensive specialist. How ironic is it that the biggest win of program history is going to come by a 10-7 margin where your only touchdown was a defensive touchdown?
It's just unbelievable to see. We've been watching this game this season for the Lions all season long, and they have been an offensive juggernaut, Tim. But today, the Eagles arrived with the cold weather and just slowed down C.J. Collins and his aerial attack as he takes the final knee down.
And the Gatorade bath comes for Coach Frank Tristan. The Lions go nuts, and they finish their season, their greatest season in school history off with style.
As you see both teams gather for a handshake, the 19th annual Victory Bowl goes to the Southwestern Assemblies of God University Lions as they down the Eagles 10-7 in a classic defensive battle. Congratulations to Frank Tristan and his coaching staff. A great turnout by Kirk Talley, his team. They fought hard, never gave up. You can tell they got a great program, but all hats off to the guys in purple today, led by Trevor Van Kempen.
I know. This felt like. This kind of felt like a classic football game from 1913. 10-7, 7 combined turnovers, lots of penalties, sloppy football, but it came down to the last 2 minutes. Give the Eagles all that credit. With the way the game started, they were down 10-0 after the Lions' first offensive drive. They stayed in the game. Their defense only gave up 3 points on the game. If you just go by offensive score, the Eagles won 7-3.
That's correct.
But it all came down to one play. If you showed up late, you missed it. Devon Brown picking up the fumble, taking it 65 yards for the touchdown to begin the game. The Lions win this one 10-7.
We went almost 3 quarters without a score. You mentioned it, the field goal by Deere, and that came at 1:40 in the first quarter. Another score didn't happen for either team until the fourth quarter with 3:39 left on a 4-play drive, a 27-yard drive, capped up by a 16-yard catch by Carlson. That made it interesting, but Trevor Van Kempen and company held on. In fact, Trevor Van Kempen is our player of the game. 2 picks on the day, a handful of tackles. Devon Brown gets an honorable mention. There's his scoop and score that got things going for the Lions.
See, you say honorable mention. I'm a Cowboys fan, so in Super Bowl 12, they gave co-MVPs to Harvey Martin and Randy.
Oh, my goodness. Are we going to have to back up the train here? The graphic's already been made, Mr. Roberts. You're going to make John Cookman change the graphic? Fine. Co-players of the game, Devon Brown and Trevor Van Kempen.
I'll just stick a sticky note on the screen.
All right, on the screen.
Devon Brown. As the Lions, what a way to finish off the season, grabbing their 8th win. As you mentioned pregame, this is a program that up until 2013 had never had a winning season. Matter of fact, they'd never had a 500 season.
Here's Trevor's first, went up in the air, showing athleticism, and then the run after catch looked like a slot receiver as he ran with some precision. And here's the one that sealed it. Again, up in the air, 1 foot down. His hand, like I said, is up in the air as he's being tackled with the celebration of the finger pointing as in, we got this one. So he is our #1 player of the game, along with Devon Brown.
Devon Brown, he had a sack. He had 2 fumble recoveries. And again, in a game where there's only 17 combined points, you got to give it to the guy that scored most of those points.
Yeah, look at the class on both teams. Both these teams, Tim, spent all day on Friday yesterday. They got to know each other. 10 from each team went to go renovate a park. 15 players from each team spent time reading to elementary kids at Palmer Elementary. And then 15 from each team went to Palmer Assembly of God and helped with the food pantry. There was a banquet last night. John Kidna, who coaches here at Waxahachie High School, played for your beloved Cowboys, was the speaker and spoke about Christian character and what it means to be a man of God and an athlete to both of these teams. And so, you know, it's cold, but our hearts are warm to see the quality that God's raising up at both schools as both teams celebrate what really is a victory bowl for both teams.
Yeah, that's the best part about the Victory Bowl. It's not just another postseason game. It's not just another thing. It's a chance to bring guys together and do something great for a community. We're very thankful for these guys coming down from Minnesota to do a little bit of help here in our Waxahachie community. Who knows? Maybe we can exchange a favor sometime. Meet them up at the Vikings' new place sometime pretty soon.
There's only one player in purple not in that wide shot, and that is Trevor Van Kempen, and he is standing by with our very own Adam Ferguson. Adam?
Thanks. Thanks, Rob. I'm here with the 2015 Victory Bowl player of the game, senior linebacker Trevor Van Kempen. Now, Trevor, in the first half, you had an interception, and then the comeback drive for Northwestern, you ended that quickly with another interception, second of the game. What's it like as a senior to end your career on such a fantastic defensive play?
I don't know. Honestly, it doesn't really feel real right now. It just feels like, I don't know, just trying to make a play for the team, and luckily he threw my way, and I was able to get up and get it. So I'm real glad. No better way to go out than that. So
would you say that's a testament to your 4 years you put in here as a SAGU Lion?
Without a doubt. I mean, seniors are obviously, they have the most field experience, so I just knew that I got burnt on that actual route probably like at least once, maybe twice early in the game. I knew it wasn't going to happen again, so I guess that's to the fact that I wasn't going to get beat on that same play again. So.
Hey, great game, Trevor. We're going to let you go celebrate with your teammates. Hey, good job. Back to you, Rob.
All right, so you see the teams down there getting some rewards handed out. And we saw a moment ago a reward get handed to Cody Carlson. He's the one who had the touchdown for the Eagles to keep their hopes alive. Really had a bunch of great plays in the game to keep it very interesting as we hand these things out. And again, mentioned it moments ago, but what a way for Frank Tristan in his first year as a head coach to go out. You get those 7 wins. As I mentioned, you didn't know you would be playing in this game, but you get that 7th win to set the new mark. And now it's like, well, what's next? What's next? You finished off with a Victory Bowl win?
Well, I'll tell you what is next is you got a junior coming back in C.J. Collins, who now has 2 years under his belt. He's healthy, and you've got receivers coming back. You're losing a few key players on defense, but a lot of your offensive players are coming back. And I just expect bigger and brighter things for this Lions offense as Tristan now will begin his 2nd year as head coach. He'll clean up his own small mistakes that he sees in the film room. And this program has turned. You were here in 2007. You mentioned pregame. You saw this same team go 1-9 as you see them now, 8 years later, raise the banner of the 2015 NCCAA Victory Bowl. And what a win it is. What a win for the program after, like I said, 2007, you saw this same team in purple and gold, I should say, go 1-9.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing what this team's been able to do. Again, it's been a long fight up here, but there's now going to be a banner for the football team hanging somewhere in the Schaefer Center on campus at SAGU. Nice blue and red banner. Victory Bowl champions 2015 for the Lions. They're going to finish their year off at 8-3 as they pose for some victorious pictures. And some guys, again, that are finishing off their careers here, guys like, Mohamed Mansouré and, Jeremiah Mott. It's unfortunate Jeremiah Mott couldn't be out there for much of the game, but he got to be on this field for the Lions, winning the biggest game in program history.
Some final stats for you. UNC rushed for just 57 yards. Lions rushed for 122. C.J. Collins only had 74 yards passing on 9 of 17. Meanwhile, Schoen actually outplayed Collins in the air, 108 yards. But it was the fumbles, the interceptions that really were the story of the game. Lowry, 72 yards on 21 carries. You had C.J. Collins himself, 29 yards on 5 carries. Bickham, 6 attempts, 19 yards. Not a good game for Bickham. But and look at the receiving. You had, 8 players catch 1 or 2 balls. No one really stood out among the receiving core for the Lions defense. Or on the Lions side, the Eagles side, Cody Carlson, 6 balls, 55 yards. Joe Sutton, 6 balls, 47 yards. Leading rusher in the game was Chris Simon Wallace. So
yeah, again, it's all about the defense. You look right there. The Eagles only averaged 2.7 yards a play. The Lions only averaged 3.2 yards a play. These defenses were all over the field. Just an absolutely great defensive play. Again, we look at this stat, it could have been so much bigger. 12 penalties on the Lions for 112 yards. They only had 196 yards total on the game and 112 penalty yards, so they only netted around 80 yards. And you see the teams
Good catch there. I like that. Good, well done. I like that.
So it's amazing to believe that this team pulled off a win with that many penalty yards and that few yards. It came down to one play. That's how big that was. We couldn't have imagined that play would have been so big as the teams meet for prayer one last time on the field, capping off what's hopefully been a great weekend for both squads. It's just a little bit sweeter for the Lions, though, with the Victory Bowl win. Yeah, offensively, again, the offensive player of the game is undoubtedly for the Eagles, Cody Carlson, 6 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown. He's the only player who put up any sort of offensive stats. J.P. Lowry did have a solid game for the Lions, 72 yards rushing on 21 attempts, which might as well be 150 the way these teams are playing today on defense. For the Eagles, again, they're used to winning. They'll be right back to winning next year.
They're a good ball club. They'll finish 8-3 as well, Tim, same as the Lions. And we want to personally thank the folks at UNW for coming down here to Waxahachie in such short notice. Their SID, their athletic director, their president flew down for the game, and they're just a class act of people. They have a great support system here, and we wish them nothing but the best. They're about to get on a plane right now and fly back tonight to be back by the end of the weekend for their activities there. So just hats off to a great program, a great game, great support system, and we look forward to many more future interactions with the Eagles of Northwestern. On a side note, our school, Southwestern, really works well with their teachers in media and their students at something called the NRB, which is the National Religious Broadcasters Convention. So we have a relationship with them academically, and now today, as you see, an athletic relationship has formed as well with some brothers and sisters in Christ up in the chilly tundra of Minnesota. Yeah. Yeah, it was actually 18 degrees today up there and 15 inches of snow. I'm glad the game was here.
Yeah, that's safe.
I would probably not have done the game.
Yeah.
I would have been saying, listen to their feed.
Might just opt out of that one. Makes the 48, 49 degrees here. It doesn't feel quite so bad.
Well, on behalf of John Cookman, our entire amazing SAGU Sports Network crew, my partner Tim Roberts, this is Rob Price saying so long from Lumpkin Stadium. Your final score, 10-7. Lions win their first ever bowl in the Victory Bowl appearance. Congratulations, Coach Tristan and your team. You are the 19th Victory Bowl champs. So long from Lumpkin Stadium.